Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're finally doing a Sephora haul update. So this is everything that I've picked up since the Sephora haul or the Sephora sale in April. I thought I would just go ahead and give you a update because it's been, I think, a little bit over a month or close to, it actually might be like close to 2 months now. I can't really remember. But anyway, it's been quite a while and I've had time to try these products out. So I thought I would let you know my thoughts. So yeah, make sure to subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it. And if you want to see my speed reviews on some of these products, then just keep on watching. So if you've never watched one of these videos before, pretty much it's just going to be a Sephora haul update. And normally I include like things I've picked up from like Ulta, the drugstore, that I've gotten at a BoxyCharm that I think you might be interested in, just kind of like random things, but most of it is going to be for my Sephora haul. And then I just give like quick little reviews because I don't want to be here all day long, and I'll include swatches in the video. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is, let's do complexion, like foundation. So I have a couple foundation skin tints. So the first one I want to start out with is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation, and I have mine in the shade 1N00, or was the original shade was Y205. So I love the packaging on this. I love the pump. I love that how good the lid secures onto the pump. I really like this foundation. If I need a good long wear foundation that I can keep at nice sheer coverage, or I can build it up to be a full glam look, I have been reaching for this one. It lasts really well on my skin. It has been getting super warm here, and this has been lasting, and I've been absolutely loving it. My primer concoction lately has been the I'll do my skincare and I'll put on like the Summer Fridays jet lag mask for moisturizer, and then I'll use the Charlotte Tilbury on the high points, and I'll use the pore minimizing primer in my T-zone. So that's what I do for every foundation, skin tint, and I'm just wearing concealer because it makes my makeup last and it just makes it look more flawless. So no matter what I'm wearing, that is what I'm wearing as like my base, I guess. So yeah, it lays really nicely on the skin. You can keep this pretty sheer if you want to, or you can build it up to be a nice full coverage. I keep it at about a medium. That's where I prefer all my foundations, so you can't, everything's covered, like you can still see imperfections, freckles, all that kind of stuff, but everything is a little bit more covered. So yeah, it's been lasting really well on me. It looks so nice. I am wearing it today, but I do have on the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and that's a little bit more full coverage, but this just looks so smooth and just sinks into the skin so nicely. So I have been loving this one. Next is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation with SPF 25. This is such a good everyday foundation. I had a feeling I was probably gonna like the foundation because I do like the concealer so much, and I love wearing that on like an everyday basis. So like the concealer, it is more of a hydrating, radiant finish. It's not super dewy where I just look oily and greasy, but by no means is it matte. The Makeup Forever one is more of a matte finish, I would say. I don't feel like it is like, it's definitely not glowy, but it's not a dry down matte that is just really heavy on the skin. But the Kosas one is definitely more of a radiant, hydrating finish. But for every day, it's just so nice. I don't know if you can really keep this one up. Like, I feel like this is definitely more of a sheer medium coverage. It's more of like a natural, everyday makeup kind of look. I love using this. I do like that it has SPF 25. Of course, still be using your sunscreen underneath. That is not enough sunscreen, but yeah, for every single day, this is so nice. It has hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptide, squalane, vitamin B5, arnica, caffeine, and artemisia flower. I don't know what that is, but it just looks really nice on the skin. It keeps you nice and hydrated throughout the day, wears really nicely. it's just been a really nice foundation. Next is the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint. This is in the shade 2. So I will say the shade range on this is not my favorite. The lightest shades are not light enough and the darkest shades aren't dark enough. So I was a little worried this wasn't going to work for me. This one has a little shaker in it, so you definitely want to shake this one up. And then it just has a squeezy tube. Mine I think is messed up because I actually haven't seen anyone else's be like mine, but mine like won't stop coming out of the tube. And luckily it doesn't go everywhere, but it does go all over like the actual like component itself. This is a very thin texture. I would say thinner than the Fenty Eavesdrops, but it has such a nice finish. You guys, it is so nice. It just really blurs the skin, really kind of adds just a nice tint to the skin, but it still is like blurring your imperfections while still looking very, very natural on the face. So yeah, and even though this color does look way too dark for me, like if I put this on my hand, this is not my shade at all. This is probably 4 or 5 shades darker than I actually am. This could probably work for someone who's like a lot tanner than me, but it blends out effortlessly and you can't even tell. Like it honestly blends right into the skin. Looks like it's my shade. I don't know how they do it, but it literally blends into my color. So yeah, I have been obsessed with this. I think I actually like this skin tint better than the Fenty one, and this wears all day long. It wears so nicely for a skin tint. I wore this the other day and it was super hot. It was like in the high 80s that day and I was sweating, and this wore through it. So yeah, this is one of the best skin tints I have ever tried. If you want a skin tint, definitely pick this one up. Hopefully, don't be afraid of the shade range because it's just so good. It's just so good. Next, I didn't purchase this at Sephora. I actually got this on a BoxyCharm. This is the Item Beauty Air Hug Concealer in the shade 100. So I really like the packaging on this. I kind of like the like frosted top that like is orange into silver, and then it does just have like a kind of a weird doe foot. It's like, I don't know if you're able to see, but it's honestly, it's almost like it doesn't have any shape to it, and then it's kind of like slanted on one side. It's kind of a weird doe foot, but you can't like really get into like the crevices and stuff. So I have been using this like quite a bit since I got it, and I do like it. It's definitely not a favorite concealer. When I run out of this, I'm not going to repurchase it because it's a good concealer, but it's nothing crazy. I think it's more of a medium buildable coverage, and I normally have to do a couple layers of it just to like cover up dark circles. So with my concealers, I like a medium coverage, but I still don't want to be able to see dark circles just because I kind of feel like that defeats the purpose. But yeah, so it's a good concealer, but I don't think you need it. There's definitely better out there than this one. Then I actually got the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Cake Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. So this was super hard to get. It kept selling out. This is the famous one that everyone wanted, and it has that like nice pink undertone. So I actually do have the shade Cupcake. I'll insert a pictures of like comparison of Cupcake to Cherry Blossom, because Cherry Blossom is a lot more pink toned. Cupcake has a little bit more of like a beige peachy undertone to it, so you can't, it's not too pink. I definitely say it's more like a beige mixed with the pink, but this one is just like a straight up pink, but it's not too much. I do feel like if you are medium to dark, you're not probably gonna absolutely love this. I definitely think it's better for fair to light, because that's who it's going to brighten the most and be the most flattering on. But I already know that I like Huda Beauty's powder formula. It's very just flawless and airbrush on the skin. It blurs everything nicely, keeps me matte all day long. I don't have to touch up when I use this powder. It's honestly one of my absolute favorite powders. But I will say with this one, you can go overboard with it. I have definitely put too much on and it gets a little bit too pink underneath the eyes. So I like to use just like the tiniest little amount of this, and it honestly does brighten everything up, make it look just a little bit more awake. So I have been really liking this powder, but again, just use a little bit. Don't go overboard with it because it can kind of tint your under eyes a little bit too much. Before we get into cheek products, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this Item Beauty mascara. This is the Lash Snack Lengthening Mascara, and I got mine in the shade Midnight Mood. I think she just came out with a blue color of this, but this is what the wand looks like. So it's a little bit smaller, kind of almost looks like one that you would use for your like bottom lashes. I don't really put mascara on my bottom lashes very often, so I don't know, but the times I've used it, I did actually like it for my bottom lashes. This is a good mascara. It's not great. I'm wearing it today. I think there's some things that could be better about it. This is definitely one that you want to use like 2 coats with. If you do just one, I feel like it kind of lengthens them a little bit. It's more of a natural lash look. It's kind of just like gives them a nice like, makes them look black, lengthen them just a little bit, but then if you go with the second coat, I feel like you get more volume, you get way more length. I probably wouldn't do more than 2 because I think 3, it would probably get clumpy and kind of spidery looking. So I definitely like the Rare Beauty or the L'Oreal Lash Paradise way more than this, but it's an okay mascara. Which is not my favorite. Sticking with Item Beauty, we have the Blushing Light Cream Blushes. So I'm in the shade Oopsies and I'm crushing it. So these are a little bit more of a different formula. They're almost like a powder and a cream mixed together. So yeah, I've only used these a couple times. For some reason, I just haven't been reaching for them, but I definitely feel like you can use these. Use them over powder, you can use them over top of creams, however you want, because they are kind of like a powder formula mixed with a cream. If you were looking at them, they look like a powder blush, but when you touch them, they have like a very smooth texture, and they have a little bit of like a, like when you look at it on your finger, it's like has a glow, but when you swatch it, it's to me it looks completely matte. These are a pretty pigmented formula, so a little goes a long way with these. I have been really liking them. I just feel like they're a very unique formula that you don't see very often. Next I have the Sephora Collection blush in the shade Flirt It Up. So this is the one that Makeup by Ariel used on either Kylie or Kim, and then it just went viral and it's sold out on Sephora. I think it is still sold out on Sephora. I could be wrong. I'll have it linked down below, but this is such a pretty blush. I love the formula on this. It's not too pigmented, but it's not just like a powdery formula, because sometimes with Sephora blushes, they can be kind of powdery and chalky, but this one is so smooth. It looks so good on the skin, very like airbrush onto the skin, and I really love the color. It's like a pink, but it has a like warmth to it. So yeah, this is really nice. It is only $14, which is expensive, but for Sephora, it's definitely on the cheaper end. Okay, next, this one I haven't tried out as much as I would have liked to. So this is the LYS High Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush in the shade Kindness. I don't know. For some reason, I just keep like not reaching for it. It's a nice blush. I don't think it's like anything crazy. It's definitely got some like pigment to it, but there's just something about it that I haven't been reaching for it. The formula of this kind of reminds me of the e.l.f. Putty blushes, because they're both like that matte finish of like a cream blush, and they just kind of have like the same texture. So I definitely feel like the e.l.f.'s could be like a dupe for this one, but it is a nice cream blush. I think it's just like not blowing me away. But I still really want the shade Humble, only because I don't have a shade like that in my collection. It just looks so pretty, but it's still sold out. It hasn't came back in stock since the beginning of the Sephora sale. So yeah, who knows when that's going to come back in stock. But yeah, I like this cream blush. I don't think it's anything insane. I feel like if you've tried the e.l.f. ones, you've kind of tried this. So yeah, I'll probably keep using it a little bit more and really get my thoughts on it. Then we have the Huda Beauty. Where's the other one? Oh, the Huda Beauty Cheeky Tint Blush Sticks. I absolutely love these. A lot of people don't like the packaging, but I actually really like it. It's really easy to find if you have it like in a drawer or something. You can just easily find the color, and it's not like something where you kind of really gotta like look for it. But I have the shade Rebel Red and Curl Cutie. You guys, if you haven't tried these, you need to pick these up. I know they kept selling out during the sale, but I think they're back in stock. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're back in stock. These are so nice. You can literally use these over powder. You can use these as like on top of creams. They don't disrupt your foundation. They're just so easy to work with, and they are like a blush tint, so they're really easy to work with because you can really build them up to be like high pigment, or you can keep them pretty sheer. And I love like that sheer wash of color that it gives. It just looks like so pretty and just natural on the skin, giving you that just nice like flush of color. And I have just been reaching for these. You can use these over top of blushes. You can use these on their own. I love that they're not crazy pigmented to where you go crazy overboard and it's hard to blend and it's hard to work with. These are so blendable, so beginner friendly. If you are new to cream or liquid blushes, try these out. I have been obsessed with these. I mean, like, honestly, they're so good. And then another blush formula that I have been obsessed with is the Say Dew blushes. I got the shade Poppy and the shade Spicy. These are so pretty too. Even though like they look intense, they're very like sheer formula. I don't want to say watery because that doesn't really sound the best, but unlike the Rare Beauty ones where they're high pigment, they're kind of more that like whipped, like that more like moussey liquid formula. These are more of like a watery liquid formula, so they go on pretty sheer. You can build these up, which is what I like, because even though this color is pretty deep, I can use this natural days, full glam days, because it's more of a sheer formula that is so easy to work with, so blendable, very natural on the skin. I have been obsessed with these, and you get a lot of product in this. I mean, this is gonna last you a while, so I was kind of hesitant to try these out because I didn't know if they were gonna be like the Rare Beauty where they're pretty pigmented, but yeah, these are so good. Next is just, this is like quick. Normally I don't mention ones that I have repurchased or anything. So anything that like I also got my Sephora sale, like the Makeup by Mario lip liners, I'm not gonna be mentioning those. The Anastasia lip liners, I'm not gonna be mentioning those because I have mentioned those in a Sephora haul update before. I'll try to, if I can remember, I'll try to like link those down below or like link the playlist. But yeah, so anything where I just picked up new colors of a product I've already tried, I'm obviously not going to be mentioning it because I obviously like it if I'm picking up new colors. But I did want to mention these because I don't know if I've really mentioned these on my channel before. So we have the NARS blushes. I have Thrill and Orgasm X. These are so pretty. So then this one is more of a matte finish, and then this one is shimmery. So this is what they look like. I have been obsessed with this one. It's just like that nice blue toned lavender pink color that just looks like a nice blush on the skin. And then this one is so pretty for summer. It's just like a nice like coral with a golden sheen. This one is definitely more pigmented than this one. This one you can kind of build up. You can go with like a light hand or kind of build up the color. But this one, you definitely need a light hand with it, especially if you're fair like me. This can go overboard, but if you just use a light hand, this is so pretty for summer. It just gives you that nice like flush of color with a nice glow. So I've been really liking these. I've been really liking NARS blushes, and I honestly thought I would probably never really try them out because they are expensive, but I have 3 now and I have been really liking them. Okay, so last blush is the One Size Cheek Clapper 3D Blush Trio. So I have 2 shades. I have the more like bronzy one. This one is really pretty, and then we have the berry one. So I will say I haven't been using these an absolute ton. I do like that you get like a shimmer blush, a powder blush, like a powder matte blush, and then a cream blush. I do really like that. I've used this one I think like 3 times, and maybe this one like 1 or 2, so not my best, but I definitely have my thoughts on them. These are super pigmented. I mean, like insanely pigmented. I can literally do one swatch and like the pigment on these are crazy. Like even the powders, The formula on these are very nice. If you use a light hand with them, it is a really pretty color. Like, I like the shimmery blush, I like the powder blush. They're all like a very nice formula. I love that you get 3 different types of blushes in one. But these are not beginner friendly at all. At least personally, I know I did get 2 of the bolder shades and I have fair skin, but I have seen other people say that these are very pigmented. So if you get these, definitely use a light hand because you can go overboard with these. I have before. They're very pretty on the skin and they look very nice, but a little goes a very long way with these. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, and then we have the one size made for shade bronze and sculpt trio. This is the shade Fair. So again, you get 3 different ones. You get kind of like a lighter bronze, then you get kind of more of a cooler toned, and then you get a little bit more of a deeper bronze. So sometimes I mix these all together. Sometimes I'll use the cooler tone and then use the bronzers over top. It's just kind of like whatever I'm feeling that day, but I did just like mix these all together today and put that on my face. And I do really like this formula. It's a very smooth, powdery formula that's not powdery. It's a very smooth formula. It goes on very nicely. These have quite a bit of pigment too, so again, a little goes a long way. Online, I feel like they didn't do the greatest reputation of the shades because online, this literally looked like setting powders. I almost got the light shade because I honestly thought the fair shade would not work for me. It just looked way too light. But trust me, stick to your normal shade because even if they look light in the pan or online, they are pigmented, so you can go overboard, especially with a darker shade. But they are very pretty on the skin and I really do like this formula, and I love the 3 different shades in one. Now I think we just have lip products. So I have quite a few. Oh no, I have one eyeliner. I tried out the Makeup by Mario Master Pigment Pro pencil in the shade The Perfect Brown. I really have been liking this. I've been using this like every single day. So this is just kind of more like a black brown or like a really deep brown. These are very creamy. They do come with a brush on one end so you can blend it out if you want to. I don't really use a brush very often. I kind of just use my own brushes, but I have been using this as water in my waterline, tight lining on my eyes, as eyeliner. I did like a kind of like I put this on and kind of like smoked it out and just kind of more of a smoky look. These are so nice. Once they dry down though, they are not going anywhere. So they don't run on me. They don't get like weird in like the inner corner of my eyes. They're very creamy, very easy to work with. This is honestly probably one of the best eyeliners I've ever used. I just wish these didn't sell out so easily because I think the shade is sold out now. So, and I heard they're restocking in the fall. So I don't, but you can sign up for like email reminders. Lip products. So I have 2 lip liners that I want to mention. So I have the Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0. I have Honey Beige and Pinky Brown. I'm wearing Pinky Brown today mixed with a little bit of Warm Taupe from Anastasia. So these are more of a creamy lip pencil. They're not like the Anastasia or the Makeup by Mario where that wooden pencil. These you twist up. And then they do have like a sharpener so you can like sharpen the tip of it. So I do really like these. These are really easy to work with. They're not too creamy where they're just going all over the place. I can still get a nice like sharp line with it, and they're pretty easy to work with. So yeah, they're really nice lip liners. And they're really nice lip liners. That's kind of all I have to say. Then we have the NARS, what are these called? Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balms. I have been loving these. These are great for someone who likes lipstick. Like if you've been wanting to wear lipstick but you don't want to wear something that is just full pigment, a lot of color, because these are just like a nice sheer tint of color. I mean, like that's like with like building this up. I'm wearing Unrestricted today. I'm sure it's kind of like wore off. These definitely look darker online than they are in person. But I really like the packaging on these. I love the formula. I love that it's like that soft matte finish, but it's still nice and hydrating on the lips. It's not drying. I like that it just kind of gives you that like sheer tint of color. So I have been really loving these. I definitely think that they're worth the hype. Then we have the Merit lipsticks. What are these called? I don't know the name of these, but I have the shade Millennial and the shade Baby. I love the packaging on this. I just think that the packaging is just so like pretty and just like old school classic looking. The tip of them I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't know. There's something about it, but again, these are more of a sheer formula. They kind of remind me of the NARS one, but these are definitely more of like a hydrating satin finish lipstick. They're not matte. So maybe you don't like a matte finish and you want more of like a satin finish, then you could try these because they will build up to full pigment, but they're definitely more of a sheer formula. But they are very, very nice lipsticks. And then the last lipstick I wanted to mention is the Rose Ink. So I have two shades. I have Besotted and Demure. I definitely don't think that the pictures like describe these lipsticks super well. These are definitely more of like a full pigment color. They are refillable, so you can like take this out just like the Fenty Beauty ones, but these do come with the case. And then they have like the magnetic lid, which I think is so cool. Like no matter, even if you put it like this, it will like spin itself to the magnet. And these kind of have like a weird tip where they're kind of like, it's like very angled on one side and it's just kind of like pointy. These are definitely more of a full pigment lip color, unlike the Merit or the NARS where it's more of a sheer color that you can kind of build up. This one is definitely full pigment and they're very nice, very creamy, and have a nice like satin finish on the lips. They kind of remind me of the Merit ones, but definitely way more pigment. So yeah, I've been really liking these. But there's something that they remind me of, but I can't think of it. But yeah, really nice lipsticks, and I really love the packaging on them. Okay, and last thing is the Patrick Ta Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Full Syringe. So I do really like these. They don't have much of a pigment, so I think if you get one, I don't know if you really need them all. I would say that the red probably has the most pigment just because it is kind of like that cherry color kind of tint. But yeah, like all the nudes kind of look the same, to be honest. But I've been really liking these. They almost have like a, they're not plumping to where they're like burning, and they're not like minty. So if you're wanting a plump, you might like these, because if you like a plump but you don't like the Buxom where it's kind of like that cooling minty, but you don't like the Too Faced or like the Fenty Beauty Heats where it's kind of like that burning hot sensation, you would like these because they're almost just like, to me, these don't burn, these don't, I don't know, they just have like the slightest tiniest little tingle. Like you probably wouldn't even notice it, to be honest. And it has kind of like a cinnamony, almost like, it kind of like has a scent almost like a Christmas candle, where it's kind of like that cinnamony apple kind of smell. I honestly kind of like it, but see, as you can tell, like it just kind of gives like a sheer wash of color onto the lips. But these are really, really nice. I have been liking these, and I kind of like the doe foot, that it's kind of like a flat angled doe foot. So yeah, that is everything that I want to update you guys on. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. If I did, I'll just like mention it in another makeup update. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.